will drive for the hole. He'll score. Over. He puts it up. Yes, sir. What a lucky shot. Another last second escape. Ramon Fernandez comes up with a winning basket. That is the worst. So Sambo is in heavy traffic. He puts it out. Open again. Yes, sir. Alvin Raymundo. Sumabay ka pa. Si Baran. May kasama bang foul. The ball breaks the rules. Kelly Williams for the flush.
Yes, shot. What a shot. An amazing shot by J.J. Elterman.
It doesn't get any better than this.
What a play.
Merry Christmas to all of you guys. I'm Dominic Uy, and with me is Miss Cheska Litton.
That's right, we've got a great doubleheader up for you guys today. Merry Christmas, everybody. First up, we've got James Yap, Kirby Raymundo, and the rest of the Purefoods TJ Giants going up against Gary David and last game's player of the game, Richard Heath, with the Burger King Whoppers.
In our second game, it's going to be the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings, your crowd favorites, who always have a Christmas Day game against the Coca-Cola Tigers with a much rejuvenated Asi Taulava.
And of course, before everything, we want to throw in a little bit more Christmas spirit with the PBA players showing you their best moves, which are surprisingly not on the court.
The best gift I can give this Christmas is not my play-by-play commentary.
Isn't my crossover. Hindi ang mga hang-time moves ko.
It's not attacking the basket.
Not my clutch baskets.
Hindi hook shot.
It's not my three-point shot.
It's not my courtside reports or team insights.
It's not my in-and-out crossover between the leg move.
It's not my three-point shot.
Hindi ang depensa ko.
Hindi ang aking mga thrilling moves.
But the best gift I can give this Christmas is...
Ito ang best move ko.
Up and gone! Whoa!
Oh, what execution!
He's making his teammates look good and himself good.
Smart play.
Knockback finishing with the runner. What a shot!
That's how you dissect the defense.
Great pass. Bang! Bang, bang, bang!
Alapag over Rivas.
Is it Miller time again?
Oh, what a move! What a move! Oh, what a spin by Ronald Tube! Unbelievable! Oh, what a move!
This is JJ Helterbrand.
This is Jeff Carriazo.
This is Renro Nitualo.
Ako po si L.A. Tenorio.
This is Jimmy Alapag. Wishing everyone a Merry Christmas.
And I thought their best moves were on the court, but apparently our PBA players, of course, wanting to share and wanting to help, and that's their proof that these guys are giving off the court.
And to show them what they are giving on the court, keep it here to watch the PBA on Solar TV.
Boy, to work on Christmas is a problem for some people, but not for the people who entertain you with their basketball skills. And Norman Black, you tell me that you've done this many times, and
Yes.
it's nice to share a part of Christmas with you here today.
Well, first of all, Merry Christmas to all the PBA fans out there. We have a couple good games for you today.
Okay, let's take a look at the team standings, and you'll understand why the teams are killing each other. The objective is position, position, position.
Well, you take a look at the two teams who will be performing in this first game. Purefoods TJ Giants at 8-6 still have an outside chance of making it to the top two. Of course, they have to win out in their final games, and they have to hope that Alaska and San Miguel lose most of their games. On the other hand, the Burger King Whoppers at 5-9 are just trying to stay out of the cellar. They don't want to move down any further. They want to move up towards the middle of the pack.
Especially with Coca-Cola now getting some kind of resurgence of late. But you know, the last meeting between these two Purefoods was in control of that particular battle.
Well, this actually was the first game of the year, the season opener for the PBA. And Japet Aguilar was a part of that game for Burger King in that particular time out. And Purefoods won this game 93-80. Better field goal shooting, of course, better free throw shooting, and they won the rebound battle against Burger King.
You know, Coach Norman, in any team, there's always the barometer players, the players who seem to be the reason why one team is going this way or that way. And James Yap, definitely for Purefoods, is that kind of player.
We call them star players, superstars sometime. In the case of James Yap, he is the best player for his team in this particular year. His shooting percentage has been down a little bit this year, particularly from the three-point line. But last time out against Talking Tex, he played very, very well. 28 points, 5 out of 9 from the three-point area, 4 rebounds and 2 steals. Purefoods will be hoping that he'll have another big game today against Burger King.
Those superstar players, they want the ball. You sense that, give it to me or else.
Well, they get paid to get the basketball, yes, that's right.
Exactly. Let's send it downstairs to Dominic, who has an update. Downstairs to Dom. Dom?
Thank you, Sev. Thank you, Sev. Merry Christmas to you guys up there. And you know what, you were talking about James Yap, and he was struggling for quite some time. And Coach Ryan Gregorio initially talked to him, and James said, Coach, just don't worry about me. Let me figure it out. And he said, after that, James Yap, when he left him alone, all of a sudden he exploded, and that's why he trusts James Yap is back in his groove. Sev?
Thank you very much, Dominic. And if we move to the other side of the floor, you mentioned earlier when we were preparing for this game that this player has been having quite a year, Richard Yee.
That's correct. Richard Yee for the Burger King team. Where did it come from? He was with Purefoods for so many years. He actually was a backup forward for them. Did get a little bit of more playing time in his first few years in the league, but lately did not play much for Purefoods. He moves over to the Burger King team, and all of a sudden he becomes one of their best players, one of their best big men. Take a look at his stats last time out. 21 points in that game, 8 out of 10 from the field. Of course, Richard Yee will have to come up a big game if he wants to beat this Purefoods team.
One quick question before we send it over to Dominic. Defense will be important, especially as we move towards the end of the conference, Coach.
Well, Purefoods, the #1 defensive team in the PBA today, going up against Burger King, who is dead last in defense. But of course, on the other side for Burger King, they're a running team. They're #1 in fast break points. They're a high-scoring team. So it's really offense against defense in this particular game.
Absolutely. And let's send it downstairs to Dominic, who is already on the court.
Thank you, Sev. You're talking about Richard Yee, and Coach Yang Yao is very happy the way Richard Yee is performing for his team. But he would want the others to step up as well, because as he can see that the confidence is a problem for the Burger King Whoppers, meaning consistent confidence in everyday's game. Sev?
Okay, you sent it back to me. We have our signals crossed on Christmas. Do I receive a gift or not? But that's why we work in pairs. So this game should be important, especially for the teams battling for those positions, Coach.
Especially for Purefoods. They want to try to move up, at least to get to the top 4 to qualify outright into the quarterfinals.
Absolutely. We'll have this game ready for you on this special Christmas Day presentation of the PBA here on Solar TV.
Paayong Pasko at manigong bagong taon. Ho, 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 ho! Ho, ho, ho! Ho, 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 ho!
Guard number 20, Gary the Pit. At center, number 30, Bo Belga. At forward, number 55, Richard Yee. And also at forward, number 28, Mark Yee. Head coach of the Burger King Whoppers is Yang Yao. Our referees of the ball game are Jessica Nol Kilingin and Nestor Zambrano, with Maui Morino as alternate referee.
And the referees is being announced by the big man with the big voice over there. I don't know his name. It's Jess Ferrer, Nol Kilingan, and Zambrano as the third man with the whistle. Look at the starting lineups.
Well, you can see your starting lineups there. Artadi, Yap, Rivas, that's James Yap, Merihoffer, and Raymundo for Purefoods. And quick bucket there. Oops. Don't speak too soon.
Near bucket. And here's Rico Merihoffer trying to erase the miss. And quickly we have 2 points on the board. Does it hurt when you're sometimes too open that it looks like it's going in?
Well, it hurts because that was a wide open layup and
Yes.
you lose 2 points right at the start of the game. That certainly will not help his confidence.
In the meantime, here's the first foray by Burger King. And David with his first basket.
Immediately, Burger King going into the post against the defense of James Yap, trying to post up Gary David.
Artadi has really found a home in the starting guard position for Purefoods.
And that's the second time around.
Yes. Second tour of Judy with them. That will not work. And off and running goes Burger King. Belga.
Oh, Belga showed a lot of agility on that play. Had to use a couple of dribbles to get to the basket against Paul Artadi.
Had to do a ton of running really here. He has had a lot of minutes with Yang Yao. In the meantime, here's Artadi. Raymundo isolated. Shot clock coming down to 5. The quick short pass. That'll count.
And that was a good dive by Rafi Rivas, who just waited just enough for the defense of Burger King to come in. Then he dove down the lane, and Kirby Raymundo made a nice assist pass there for the shot. And one of the major concerns for Purefoods in this game will be their transition defense. Because like we mentioned earlier, Burger King leads the league in fast break points at over 15 a game.
Rivas, who's had problems with his free throw shooting, less than 50% going into this game, averaging 41%, taking care of the +1 situation. Purefoods ahead by 1. And quickly a foul. It's a bad screen.
That's going to go against Richard Yee. It's going to be his first personal.
Once you make that extra motion, once you make that extra move, they seem to blow the whistle, and and it's correctly so. You must really stand still as much as possible.
Yes, that time Richard Yee actually put his arms up in the air to really impede the progress of the defensive player.
Yes. Rivas looking for some help. Yap trying to regain his confidence with the basket. That didn't work. Give and go, misfires. Quick release, hits the edge of the board. Good opening game crowd with still Coke and Barangay Ginebra still to play. Ooh, that's where coaches get their gray hairs.
Well, the right idea there for Rico making that pass, but it was just a little bit too strong. In other words, his teammate was just a little bit too close to him.
Yes. He knew the pass was coming, but he was still surprised that it landed in front of him. In the meantime, Burger King obtains possession. That's batted outside to be retained with 14 on the shot clock.
And every time I watch a game, I always take a look at the pick and roll defense of each team, because the two-man game is such an important part of basketball that you really have to have good pick and roll defense if you're going to be able to stop the other teams.
And that's both in the collegiate as well as
that's
in the
correct,
professionals.
Yes. Especially in the collegiate, yes.
I think it's a backing violation. 5-4 is the count. 9:34 to go. We do hope you've had a great Christmas day. And family, friends, finally getting a rest after all those Christmas parties. Here's Mayor Hoffer. Marquis is with him. Short pass. A little bit congested for Purefoods. Kirby. Big man digs in deep.
Kirby Raymundo.
A good subtle fake there by Kirby, like he was going to go back to a spin move, but instead just banked it right off the board.
Still, some people don't get the idea that he's such an offensive weapon, averaging 14.2 now, slipping down to become the second leading scorer for Purefoods. Bo Belga snaps.
And that's what Belga does well. He can make that outside shot.
And Belga already with 4 points in this basketball game. Belga averaging just under 10 points. In fact, to be very specific, 9.1. And there's a shot that does not work for Mayor Hoffer at close range. Shot clock, still a lot of time. 14, that'll count, plus one more shot coming up.
And somewhat of a cardinal sin there, fouling a three-point shooter as Rico Merahoffer fouled Yee. That's going to send Yee to the line for another shot, as that ball did go through the hoop. Look at the closeout there by Rico, just a little bit too strong, hits him on the arm. And that shot goes right through the hoop.
Let me ask you a coaching question. Should you at least try to block that shot? You know, you shouldn't foul the three-point shooter, but should you still put up your hand to try to distract the shooter?
Well, I don't really believe in trying to block three-point shots. I think you need to close out strong. If it is a three-point shooter, try to make him put the ball on the floor. But if you can't do that, then you just challenge the shot. If he makes it, he makes it. But just make sure you get your hand up and then box out afterwards.
So you feel that the tendency to try and block it causes the foul?
Well, like I said, it's a cardinal sin when you foul a foul shooter. And a lot of times if you go for the block every time, you're going to end up fouling.
In the meantime, going back to this play, David with the foul, his second, with 8:07 remaining. Let's take the second look.
Good block there.
Linis. In the meantime, Mayor Hoffer has been the recipient of several passes at this low post area. Makes that curl of his. No, won't bite, but gets a foul.
And you can almost just imagine yourself in a locker room before the game and listening to the pregame talks of both coaches. On the other end, you saw Gary David try to attack James Yap immediately at the beginning of the game, so you know that's in their game plan. And on this end, you have Rico Merahoffer going after Yee in the post. That's 3 times now they've tried to get the ball to Rico in the post area. So
you can actually hear the voices of the coaches now.
Well, these are the matchups that we really want to attack.
Want you to go low, go inside each time. And Mayor Hoffer has, as we mentioned, been a recipient of several passes in that low post box. That second free throw. We're down to 8 minutes, and we have a 1-point lead by Burger King. We're live from the Cuneta Astrodome, and Burger King trying a quick pace. That shot works in the corner.
Marquis hits another three-point shot. Marquis was out of the Liga Filipinas. Another one of those feel-good stories, guys who have worked his way into the PBA. Now he's getting a big chance to shine.
And he already has 7 points of the 13 posted by Burger King so far. Umatras lang siya, and he ended up committing this foul. And what can you do?
Well, there definitely was a lot of contact on that play, but Enrico Merhopper also sold the foul. As Marquis cannot believe the call.
Scratching his head.
As they normally do.
Yes.
Players, somehow, they always scratch their head whenever they think they're not guilty. Matias is in the game now for Marquis, who is checked out.
You've been around here 20 plus years now. You know naman pag sinasabi, ako foul?
Never committed a foul.
Yeah, wala. Ako? Mayor Hoffer begging for a foul because somebody took off his arm, which is still there, by the way. (13-9) count. Our panel director, Mike San Juan, is having a very holidays kind of Christmas here today, laughing and laughing. Meanwhile, Burger King is all business here, Norman.
That's right. They've gotten off to a very good start in this particular game, and their defensive end, they've been holding up pretty well.
Better than this. What a play!
As the cameras of Director June de los Santos, who spends Christmas usually this way with cameras, zooms in. Purefoods needing to come back here, down already by 6. As we mentioned before we went into the gap, Burger King, all business with defense and choice shots. They work their plays quite well.
Well, the key for Burger King is to be consistent on the defensive end. Like I said, they're the worst defensive team in the league, so they're going to have to be able to do this for 4 quarters.
With no let-up. In the meantime, the rebound controlled by Mayor Hopper. Rivas is battling for position inside. Makes a nice seal, makes the turn. Is angled away, gets it back, and a foul by Belga, which he quickly acknowledges.
And even though Rafi Rivas has been in the league for a long time, Seb, that's still an area where he really needs to improve on his inside post-up game. There's no question he's a good rebounder, he's a good defender, but he has the size and the length that he should be able to score against smaller players down there in the post.
Is it footwork, just on your initial diagnosis? Is it footwork?
Well, I think you just have to put the time in. You have to learn, get certain go-to moves that you can go to every time, then have a secondary move off of that so that you can be productive down there in the post area.
Meanwhile, that shot by Roger Yap, he was already shooting it on the way down, not at the top of the jump, actually. Top of the keyhole. They're trying to go to Belga. That's batted out. They send it outside with 9 seconds remaining on this offensive set. Purefoods defense trying to move on the outside. Here's the outside flip. Long. And picking it up is Rivas. Timberlake, by the way, is in the game for Purefoods. That is tapped outside by Buenafe.
And that's when the guard has to be able to see the defense behind his teammate. And his teammate cannot see the defense coming in.
In the meantime, Don Aliado makes his first appearance here today, pulling out Rivas. We've got Quinyahan making his first appearance, pulling out Belga.
And you notice Purefoods continues to have a big lineup on the floor. They're one of the bigger teams in the league as far as being able to put a 6'4", 6'5" at the small forward position.
They've got Pingris, Aliado, Raymundo, and Aliado has always had that shot. Five and 10 remaining, opening quarter. Christmas Day presentation of the PBA on Solar TV. Glad you're with us. Maligayang Pasko po sa inyong lahat. Saan mo kayo kumakain ngayon? that could be an offensive foul.
I think they're just going to call it out on Burger King.
It's just outside, yes.
And that's one of the weaknesses of Burger King so far this conference. They do lead the league in turnovers. They commit a lot of turnovers, so they're going to have to take care of the basketball in this particular game. Of course, they're the #1 running team, so running teams normally do commit a lot of turnovers.
I think their offense gets into problems when they go to the third option on the offensive set, when the first two options get gobbled up by the defense. In the meantime, Chico Lanete is in the game for the first time. Nice dish. And Yee has his first pair.
A good head fake there, and then a little up and under move by Richard Yee.
And you go ahead, please.
Actually played with his father, Miguel Bin, when he used to play for San Miguel.
Remember that long hairdo of his?
Yes, he was a good shooter from the perimeter. Imagine I played with the father of one of the players on the floor who's been in the league for like 10 years.
We're at that stage, Norman. First time I worked the coverage with you was 20 years ago, 1989.
That's correct.
Some of those guys have retired already. Timberlake wants everybody to be on the Christmas table. They want to go post up here with Raymundo, but they go to another option. Aliado goes to Raymundo. And Raymundo has a great shot underneath.
And you mentioned about footwork a little bit earlier. That was a great example. They have great footwork around the basket.
It just needs a ton of work, Norman, no? You just have to
work on your game. That's right, Seth.
Individually, with the coach or with your teammates.
And sometimes it's just repetition. You have to keep doing it over and over again until you perfect it.
So that it becomes automatic when the game comes around.
You no longer think about it, you just automatically do it.
Good point. In the meantime, Kirby Raymundo ended up with his first personal foul.
Kirby has had a few injuries this conference, which have kind of slowed him down, but good to see he's back in this game today.
Burger King with 5 team fouls already in the penalty, while Purefoods with 2.
Lanete misses his first foul shot.
KFC delivery assist in the quarter. Here's that great head fake by Yee. Enjoy watching the PBA with finger licking. Valid 878888. May KFC pa bang natitira sa loob ng mga KFC nitong araw ng Pasko na to? Talagay ko wala na. Pero dahil nyo, siguradong meron yan. In the meantime.
Yes, Lanete missed his second shot also. Very unusual for him. He's normally a pretty good foul shooter.
Boy, the format of the tournament really kicking in right now, and teams that really lost a number of games with the shortest or closest of margins now having to play catch-up. In the meantime, that will not go for Purefoods. Matias waits for the rest of the gang. We go to the post. Rejected. Gotcha there. And the Whoppers want to talk things over, and that's going to be a big swat. We'll talk about it and probably see a replay after this.
Get any better than this? What a play!
James, yeah. Test.
Is all around. Cheska Litton in her Christmas best. Test this report.
Merry Christmas, Seb. All right, James Yap spent yesterday afternoon at Time Zone with his boys Josh and baby James, where they spent the whole day enjoying themselves playing the games. Josh is actually more partial to racing games, while baby James is a huge fan of Michael Jackson. He watches clips of the King of Pop on YouTube every chance he gets, and today he actually happens to be here in Cuneta cheering for his dad, also wearing a Michael Jackson costume. Seb and Norman?
Michael Jackson. Okay.
This is called This Is It. And, you know, I think it's going to be like the Beatles, timeless. Michael Jackson for all generations. In the meantime, PBA, I think will also be for generations. It's now at 17-15, 2:34 remaining. Opening quarter. Here's Buenafe. Christmas socks and all.
Well, very little ball movement that time for Burger King, as Buenafe had the basketball for almost the entire shot clock. But he did get fouled. He will get to the foul line for 2 shots.
And Roger Yap guilty of that foul. His first team foul story. Purefoods 4 penalty situation already against Burger King. 2:24 remaining.
Bonifay's younger cousin plays for me at Ateneo University. He's also a very good player.
Well, can you imagine what kind of childhood the Buenaface had? Playing with and against each other?
Well, Ronjay's always been a good player.
Oh, yes.
Even when he was at AOC. I mean, we used to always fear him whenever we played them because he was a very talented guy.
You know where the offense was going, huh? Emilio Aguinaldo College, of course. Very nice building, that school. And smart at that. They created their athletic facilities pataas. Oh, Aliado.
That was a smooth stroke there by
Yes.
Don Ayado, right over the hands of the defense.
And he has collected 6 points coming off the bench.
And you might want to go back to Don Ayado, the way he's shooting that basketball today.
Yes.
This may be his night or his day.
There are days when players actually feel it and they cannot miss.
Well, Coach Ryan's not very happy on the sideline.
Number 31, Chris Timberlake. His first 15 foul by Purefoods TJ
Ooh, and
Giants.
Purefoods now lands in the penalty.
Shot clock at 14 seconds.
Well, Bonifay thinks they're in the penalty, but it doesn't look like they are.
Somebody's giving us Christmas gifts while we're talking here. Thank you.
Thank you.
1:40 to go. Nice dish. That won't work, however, for our baby Shaq. Timberlake. Open shot.
You don't really see Romel hit that outside shot that much anymore, but that time he was able to knock it down as the big men for Purefoods are having a pretty good time from the perimeter.
You know, in the off-season, kept playing and playing even with the PBA legends who have retired already, just to stay in shape. And Sharma couldn't get it from inside earlier. His shot was swatted, decided to pop it from the outside.
Well, that's really Sharma's strength. He can hit that outside shot. Not really that great moving with the ball on the dribble, but he can hit that open jumper.
In the meantime, the shot on the other end does not work. Rebound controlled by Matias. Here's Williams on the floor for the first time. Open shot. That won't work. Would have been a 2 and a chance to reset.
Two young point guards going up against one another here.
Yes. Buenafe launches from 3.
Yes.
For 3.
And look at this. Burger King will probably have the lead going into the break. Ahead 24-19 with less than 15 seconds to go. That walking screen by Aliado. Nice move. Roger with his first pair of points. So Burger King has done its job, at least stopping Purefoods from getting its offense going, Coach.
They just have to be a little bit more consistent with that defense as the game goes on. And, of course, you have to worry about Purefoods getting into their big men in the second and third quarters.
Second quarter.
This is the 6th straight season the PBA is having games on Christmas Day and 7th overall since 2002. We didn't have one in 2003, and we're glad you could share a part of your Christmas Day with us here. Sam Sarmenta with Coach Norman Black. We've got Cheska Litton and Dominic Oy completing your Christmas quartet, at least for the first game.
5 seconds on the shot clock.
Sharma was blocked on that play as he tried to take the ball to the hoop. 5 seconds left on the shot clock for Burger King.
What will they do? That does not work, and here we go with Purefoods. First quarter numbers being flashed on your picture. Aducol, here's Pingris. There's Roger trying to back up. Nice move. Just a bit off angle, and Sharma cleans it up. Williams sees somebody trailing down the middle, just couldn't finish. First minute of the play, just going by us here. Aliado had a good first quarter. Romel hit a shot from outside, somewhere there earlier. This is on its way. Yes!
It's always a good idea to get the ball to James Yap in the half court. You can see the difference between the two teams, Sev, as Burger King's trying to push that basketball up every time. First available shot, they take it. On the other end, Purefoods is a lot more deliberate, more of a half-court type team.
Like to get a bit of a motion offense, very clear to the available options. They pass, they move. They pass, they move. Aliado, he'll pass, he'll move away. Here's the penetration by Romel.
And it just goes to show, whether you're a fast-breaking team or a deliberate team, you can be successful if you can execute. Kinahan hits from the inside.
And you were exactly putting it in perfect captions, because if you move well without the ball, you will most likely get the basketball. 1 point lead by Burger King. In the meantime, that is missed at close range by Yap. The Yap boys are on the floor. Nice feed inside. They don't force it. There's congestion inside, but that shot will work. Sharma netting 4 points. Sharma has been averaging 8 in 18 minutes of play for Yang Yao,
which is really pretty good. I mean, if he got more playing time, he'd probably be averaging a lot more points.
Yes. Means you put up points quickly in succession. In the meantime, that is ringless beauty by James Yap.
And for anybody else, that would be a bad shot. A fadeaway from 3 points, a man right in your face. But for James Yap, that's normal. It's just a normal shot.
Those are the yes, no, 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 yes situations that you have with those great players.
Yeah, those are the type of shots that come with superstars. Superstars can make those shots.
In the meantime, that is not made. We're in a tied ball game, friends. Glad you're with us. 28 apiece here. And a timeout. Ooh, this is interesting. 32nd.
Timeout here for TJ Giants.
No, they make it the full timeout. We'll be back in a moment. We got a lot of kids in the Coliseum today. Pinagbabawalan na nga ng mga nanay na kumain itong araw na ito, but we're having a ball with you on Christmas Day. We're tied at 28. Ooh, there's a foul. Kinyahan fouling Yap.
And that's the exact result of James Yap making a couple of shots from the perimeter. And now Burger King's trying to guard him a little bit tighter. He's going to get to the line for 3 shots.
Let's see how that last play happened.
Big guy trying to guard a small guy. Hits him right there on the arm. That's a good call by the referee. Cannot clip the elbow of the player who's taking the shot.
And as we learned from you in the first quarter, don't block the shot.
Just challenge it.
Challenge it.
If he makes it, he makes it.
Keep this in mind. It's 2 or 3 blocks in a game is a lot already for the professional players. And that's on the average. And you don't have to block every shot, really.
Well, the best shot blockers in the league only average 2 a game.
Yes.
You try to block every shot, you're normally not going to get it anyway.
Yep. And you'll end up probably with 4 or more fouls. It's 30-28. Purefoods regaining the lead after we were squared up at 28. I think Willie Marshall, our PBA Media Bureau chief, in his best effort to express himself in, what's that, Egyptian? I'm not sure. Trying to tell us that all tickets are practically sold except for the bleacher section. Those seats, those are owned already, ladies and gentlemen. Good day here on the PBA.
And they probably will have live bodies in them by the time the second game comes around when he never plays.
In the meantime, 8:13 to go. We kid Willie a lot, but you know he's one of the most dedicated here in the PBA. He's practically given his life here in the PBA.
Let's see what this foul goes against. It's going to be against Artadi.
Yes.
Now, Coach Yangao is trying to post up Ramsey Williams there against Artadi. See the push there in the back. That could have been a flopping call.
Takedown. They're really boring down on that. I like that violation being marked clearly by the PBA.
As long as the referees can read it well, because sometimes you do take the blow and sometimes they still deem it as a flopping.
Yun lang.
So they have to be able to read that call very, very well.
Down the middle goes Rivas, can't finish it up. Ooh, nice effort that time by the bit to try to save it from going out.
And those are the type of shots I was saying earlier that Rivas has to be able to finish with his size that close to the basket. He has to make that shot.
Laneta is in for energy for Burger King. Of course, used to play for Purefoods as well. Can't give him that much of an opening. Here comes Gary. Laneta taps it, but Artadi picks it up. Yup. Will probably go up.
Good call by the referee. That ball definitely went off the hands of Kanahan. Rafi Rivas did come over the back, but he did not knock the ball out of bounds.
And Yang Yao's holler, audible above the din. Watch this.
We have a much better angle on it. You can see it right there.
I think Yang was saying galing sa likod, but no, I don't think so. In the meantime, switching back to live action, Kirby Raymundo now has a collection of 6 points. Laneta, this is wise. Set up a play. Falling behind here, we haven't scored if you're Burger King since we were tied at 28. Oh, that's taken away. If Artadi scores, it's a 6-0 run. It's a pass off at the last moment, and they lose the opportunity. Laneta angled away. That is angled away as well. Here's a third serving. There's a foul downstairs.
And they're going to call an offensive foul.
Offensive foul number 7, Chico Laneta.
If Yang Gao did not like the last call, he's certainly not going to like this one.
And Yang Yao is holding on.
He's trying to control himself.
Yes. I think that's the right description. Enough said, as the comics would say.
I know that as a coach, Seb.
Straight. Not true on that move. And it's picked up on the bust out. Yes.
Oh, Belga from Gary DeVitt.
Belga with 6.
And once again, Burger King, they're getting out on the fast break, getting a lot of easy shots. They're a much better team when they can run the fast break or they can get quick shots at the basket.
You know, when they try to run a half-court set, the offense seems to...
It bogs down.
Yeah, it sputters out. When the defense knows what or anticipates what they want to do, they take the ball away. Lead pass. Belga up. And in. And we're tied again. Each side with a 4-0 run, making it all even Steven at 32 as we segue to this timeout.
30-second timeout.
Which is a 30-second timeout, which will not allow us to put our headsets down. Andy fix some first aid ng bahay mo. Bonds all, seals all. So you're right about the fact that when Burger King is off and running, good things happen to them.
Well, you have to take a look at the makeup of their team. They basically have two guys that are very good at taking people off the dribble. That's Gary David, who started off this particular game, and then you have Ron J. Boniface coming off the bench. But the other players are more in the role-type players. They're not the type of guys that are going to try to beat you off the dribble or try to take you one-on-one. But if they can get out and run the break and get quick shots at the basket, they're a much better team.
Purefoods, of course, hoping to continue knocking at the semis door. In the meantime, kilala ko itong mga batang ito. And ito, one of our PBA friends, Danny Espiritu, of course. May bata pa rin sa likod, ano ha?
He's been around as long as us.
Yes,
long time agent and manager of a lot of the players here in the PBA.
He tells me that the first he ever managed was Otto Agustin.
That's correct. That's very correct. And I was Otto's coach when he managed him.
Yes.
Otto has gone on to be a great coach now in the
yes,
NCAA, winning a championship for San Sebastian this year.
Yes, indeed. Went to a long stretch undefeated. In the meantime, but they finally nailed that championship. That shot does not work. And the rebound, Pingris blocked and jammed, hijacked in the air. Marquis doing a fine job of rejecting that. Belga swatted on the other end. This game is being played with con todo gusto.
That was a long pass there, starting that fast break for Belga once again. Look at Mark Yee. I think what's more impressive is the facial expression after he blocks the shot. Let's see if we can see it here. We're not going to get a look at it.
Without saying anything.
That's right.
Not here.
Gave a mean look.
Belga missing the first free throw.
Now, what's amazing about Belga is he's been involved in about 3 or 4 fast breaks.
Yes.
And he is the big guy for the Burger King team.
You know, Norman, it's very unsportsmanlike to taunt, but you know, players do feel good when they do make a block. It's part of the game.
Yeah, plus, I think players should be allowed to show emotions.
Yeah.
I think it's not only good for them, but it's good for the fans.
You don't want to hear it one day, warning on so-and-so player for too much emotion.
Yes. You don't want to show up the other team.
Yeah.
You don't want to show up the other team's fans.
You don't want them
time,
to. Yep.
You want the players to be emotional, be enthusiastic about the game.
Because a block, as we pointed out, that's way back in the first quarter, it's really hard to do. Can't block everything. Here's Roger. Rico. Oh, what a move. Missed it. Follow-up is going to work. He has 8 points. Purefoods slightly up, 34-33. We've had a nip and tuck second quarter so far. Look at the scoop.
And Belga has been having his way in this game. It's going to be Don Ayado's second foul. Belga so far with 9 points in the ball game, 4 out of 7 from the field.
You know, Belga is trying to defy every kind of notation of the scouting reports of coaches by coming up with new moves in every game.
Well, he was a low post player when he was in college at PCU. He was a very good player in college. He was a teammate of Gabby Espinas and Robbie Sands. He won a championship there at PCU.
Jason Castro also.
That's correct, Jason Castro.
And the man who was coaching them is on the bench of Burger King. Chinel Bakuli was their coach for a stretch. Quite a PCU team. Eh? In the meantime, 34-33.
Well, they had a good 2-year run.
Yes, almost. Well, Belga, almost had that shot of a lifetime against Sambeda 3 years ago. 4:40 to go. When Purefoods plays half court, they have good chances so far. They've displayed that in this game. Here's the, I thought Kirby would already take it. Takes it from here. Too strong. Artadi picks it up. Kirby trying to fall into position, gets into his place. Nice screen. Penetration. Won't work. Follow-up won't work. And it's again Purefoods' ball. The shot does not work. The rebound contested. It's on the ground. Artadi lost it. Lanete, no pass. There's a block. And we are rocking and rolling here in the PBA. Here's Meyerhofer. Gets it to go.
It's a great athletic move there by Rico Meyerhofer. And on the other end, great defense by Don Ayado.
And each side of the floor is loaded with action. Purefoods slightly up, 36-33. 3:41 to go. Purefoods wants to stay in the mix of things to have a chance at the semis berth. Belga has been a factor in the first half with 11.
That happened because Purefoods team overhelped against the Richard Yee and left Belga wide open underneath the basket.
Belga already up on his average of 9 per game, has 11, as we mentioned. Kirby Raymundo knocks in a clean one.
You know, Seb, if you're Coach Yang Gao, you might be a little bit worried now because Burger King has actually controlled the tempo throughout this first half. And then you look at the scoreboard, and they're down by 3 points.
Yes. David zips it to the corner. High arched shot. Won't work for Yee. Here comes Artadi. Mayor Hoffer, we're off to the races. Oh!
Let's see what the call is.
Yes, because there was contact before the shot. Yes, it will be good.
It's going to be a flopping violation on Mark Yee.
Mark Yee for flopping. Timeout, Burger King offers.
And Burger King, BK, wants to talk things over, grill the hamburgers just a little more because the TJ Giants are already in front, 40-35. And something great is coming this January 23, 2010. Catch boxing at the Bay. Collision course as Brian Hawaiian Punch Viloria defends his IBF light flyweight title against Colombian Carlos El Olímpico Tamara. And that's the date, January 23, 2010, here at the Cuneta. Tickets dialed 911-5555.
Well, I think the last couple of minutes we've seen the importance of the PBA draft, with Rico Marahapa being the #1 pick for Purefoods this year, and you know, he just made 2 athletic plays to really separate his team here in the second quarter.
That shot does not work for Chico Lanete, and Dominic Uy is part of this team. Go ahead, Dom.
Thank you, Sev. Seldom the two coaches agree. Well, they only agree on a Christmas Day how tough it is playing on a Christmas Day game because there are a lot of distractions. And they both agree that the more focused team will win in today's ballgame. Just an update on Kirby Raymundo. Still hurting from that knee injury that he suffered against Marlo Aquino, but he says he's really okay for today's ballgame because he's going to get a long break if they win in today's ballgame. And PJ Simon still not playing for the Purefoods TJ Giants.
Okay, Dominic, thank you very much. In the remainder of Purefoods' schedule, actually, after today's Burger King game, they've got 3 left. Rain or Shine, Alaska Milk, and Santa Lucia. Almost the same formula or combination for Burger King. After today, they've got Santa Lucia, Ginebra, and then Alaska Milk. That January is going to be wild, woolly, exciting here in the PBA. In the meantime,
well, you could see what happened on that last play with Bonifay attacking the defense of Rico Marahapa. Purefoods continues to have a big team on the floor with Kirby Raymundo, Don Ayado, and Rico Marahapa. That means Rico's playing the 3 position. On the other side, you have Bonifay playing the 3 position for Burger King. So somewhat of a quickness advantage for Ronjay.
You know, you coaches, you play this endless chess game on the floor, constantly looking for that mismatch advantage, or you're being pummeled by a mismatch. Just got a matchup almost at every turn, Coach.
Well, a lot of times some teams focus on motion offense where it's equal opportunity. Everybody touches the basketball. Some coaches like to go after mismatches, or what they perceive to be mismatches. They like to attack that way. And Coach Yang has been actually good at doing both over the years.
Yes. That is offline and picked up by Belga. Burger King staying close. In fact, they led during several stretches. Good up fake by the big guy. Buenafe tries to throw off Merhoff, and the shot on his way. No, sir. 1 minute and 15 in the ballots. Before the clock reads 0-0-0, we have a foul away from the basketball, apparently.
And that's one time that the second hit is going to get the foul. As Rico Marahapa was trying to seal Bonifay in the lane. And Ronjay just reacted to it, and he picked up the foul.
In the meantime, time to check our KFC assist delivery of the quarter. And enjoy watching the PBA with finger-licking food, just like Lanyeta and Belga do. Dial 887-8888 now. Meyerhofer is drawn out. Pingris is back in.
Well, there is a reason why Purefoods leads the league in rebounding. They're big,
There are
they're athletic.
4 people at least 6'5" in height. Ah, James! And that's 10 for him.
And that's another fadeaway three-point shot there by James Yap.
Oh, yes.
Gary DeVitt answers.
Very few players can do that fadeaway 3 from such a long distance.
Kobe Bryant.
Oh, yes.
LeBron James.
Follow up by Pingris, unable to clean up the mess. And a chance for Burger King to come in a little closer. Lanete thought about a shot from there. No. This one. Oh, yes. He's beginning to percolate. The leading scorer, Burger King.
And if Purefoods has James Yap, Burger King has Gary DeVitt on the other end offensively.
Leading scorer, 13.9 on the average. Binitbit. Belga angling that away. Will we be all tied up before the halftime break? Maybe not. On the crossover, the foul by Buenafe. At Burger King, still with 2 fouls to spare.
Substitution, Chris Timberlake for Roger Yap.
Roger Yap is pulled out. Timberlake is in.
And Ronjay has 2 fouls now for the Burger King team. And you're right, Burger King can still give up a foul here before they go into the penalty.
Belga giving it up. But is he the right person to give it up? That's 3 or 2? 2 it is.
Foul number 30, Bo Belga. His second.
That's okay. I thought he had his second. Roy Lopez, our scorer, correcting me. Just his second.
If you're Purefoods, you want to get a good look at the basket now, so you want to make sure you get a shot off.
Time for James to cradle the baby, and he knew exactly what to do.
The first half, it's 43-41 for the Purefoods TJ Giants.
And the TJ Giants escape of this tightly fought first half with a slight lead of 2, 43-41. Is Dominic Oy ready to chat with somebody? Yes, he is with Rico Meyerhofer.
Thank you, Sev. Rico, 8 points, 4 rebounds. Kamusta pakiramdam playing your first PBA Christmas Day game?
Iba rin yung ambience kasi pag Christmas. So kagabi, Noche Buena din. Pagising sa umaga, parang iba yung dating, iba yung ambience. So pagpasok namin sa dagat, iba rin talaga yung dating. So experience of a lifetime.
Ano naman ang kailangan nyo gawin in the second half para mapanalo tong game na to?
Well, as long as ma-maintain namin yung defense namin kasi lahat ng panalo namin, below 80 yung kalaban namin. Then lahat ng talo namin, 100 plus. So talagang kailangan namin ma-focus na depensa. So kung mapababa namin ng 80 points, malaki yung chance namin manalo.
Alright, thank you, Rico. The PBA will be right back after a few messages.